voice sounds nice. Say it. Say Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
Oh, you got a nice voice.
Is that nice?
I sound like I'm freaking my nose.
No, dude, when I hear it, I'm like, bro, that is me, and it's not good.
What do you not like about it?
I don't know.
I sound like nasally. Like,
I just feel like I don't sound clear. Like I don't feel like I sound
like
very.
a sexy, like deep, nice, calm.
It's like a little, almost like, is there something going on? Like he's not quite getting the word out, you know?
Oh, like you're slurring, kind of.
A little slur, like a little, like
okay.
yeah, like a little.
Tiny slur. I can hear that. All right, here we go. Cheers.
We're trying this first.
First and foremost, we welcome Mr. Ryan Hess
Cheers.
to the Bevs and Biz podcast. Cheers. What do we have? Tell the people.
Liquid Death, Cherry Obituary. Let's try it out.
Yeah, you can just sip it. I like to hear the sip in the mic. This is the first time you've tried Liquid Death?
No, first time I've tried cherry.
Oh, cherry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Tell me. Rating 1 to 10.
7.
7.
Yeah.
It does kind of have like a medicine taste. But I love Liquid Death.
Now that you say medicine, I'm thinking of that. But
I'd
I'd still say 7.
I still give this like an 8.
An 8.
Other Liquid Deaths, I'd put it a 9. This is probably not my favorite flavor, though.
Yeah. I'm a big sparkling water guy.
Are you?
Yeah.
What's your number one sparkling water?
I'm boring, dude. I do like LaCroix. Like straight.
LaCroix's no good.
Oh, no, not LaCroix. No, actually, we do LaCroix. Bubbly.
Bubbly?
Yeah, like the purple bubbly. I don't know what flavor it is. We got a whole fridge full of them.
Bubbly's your number one?
Yeah.
And then, is that it? Do you just do bubbly?
No, then LaCroix. I mean, they're all close. I mean,
I'm
they're
not a
all
fan
just
of
like a
LaCroix
hint
anymore.
of something.
LaCroix's, I always say, it's like it was next to a truck with lemons.
Yes, yeah.
In a
Well,
warehouse.
lemon's bad in any sparkling water.
Yeah.
You can't do like a citrus. You got to do like a fruit.
Okay, well, there you have it.
There you go.
Drink rating, 7 and 8. Let's get into the good stuff, what the people want to hear.
Yeah.
We want to hear about Ryan Hess. I gotta preface this by saying maybe my favorite business in the entire Western United States, the home sauna. And Ryan and my brother Robbie founded the home sauna. And it's so cool to watch you guys. Like, genuinely, I love hearing what you guys are doing. I love seeing what you've done, and just proud of you guys.
Thanks,
so I have to
man.
preface that.
Yeah, I
You guys are
appreciate it.
beasts.
It's been fun. It was a scary leap, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to talk. We were just talking before we recorded. I first want to just hear you share more of your story. You had 50-50 chance, or you in your mind you told your wife,
Yeah.
50-50 chance I'm getting a new job within
Yep.
12 months.
Yep. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, when my plan in 2023 was to potentially quit my job. I was a director of HR at a tech company.
How long did you have that job?
I was at that tech company for maybe 3 years. Someone's gonna have to fact check me. I think it was 3 years, but I was in the space for 9 years.
Okay.
So was working, kind of climbing.
Yeah.
It was good. And I'd worked for I was lucky enough to work for good companies, have a lot of responsibility, able to make, an impact.
Yeah.
But I just always had this burning thing to try my own thing one day. So when this appeared, I had this overwhelming feeling of I have to give it a shot. Otherwise, how hypocritical are you? You've been saying you wanted to do this forever. So now's your time, to give it a shot.
Yeah.
But I wasn't crazy confident. I feel like I hear a lot of people that were like, yeah, I just knew if I kept going, it would work. And that wasn't me. I was like, man, in 12 months, like I said, 50-50, I could be looking for a new job. Because when I quit, it's not like we had jobs lined up.
Yeah.
It
Did
was
you have one job? What'd you have?
Yeah, we had a couple. We had a couple on the calendar.
Yeah.
But we also were in debt. And so...
Which is bonkers.
Yeah, so you're sitting there going,
You guys,
okay.
I mean, I don't want to share too many details, but as much as you want to share. But you did some credit card stuff, right?
Yeah, we did some credit card stuff. We did... Yeah. We drained some accounts, personal accounts, and we're just like, man. Yeah.
But you're willing. You're like, okay, I'll spend whatever, 10 grand, roll the dice, and you were doing it on the side.
Yes.
And then you said, I'm doing this.
Yeah, I mean, it was like we started to get a few deals, and when I say a few deals, it's like we're going to be able to pay ourselves something while paying down this debt, and I'm talking minimal, like
bare minimum.
Bare minimum, yeah. Like, and it wasn't even close to what I was making.
Yeah.
In my corporate job, but once we quit, the momentum, you could feel it. Even though the jobs weren't fully lining up, there was like more interest, and we were on site, and we weren't midnight warriors working from 5 to 11 with lights on in a backyard, like putting a sauna together. Like all of a sudden we're there at the site of a new home being built, and we're able to meet 9 a.m. We're able to meet the home builder and contractors, and through that kind of start to build it. But yeah, what was the original question?
No, I just wanted to hear your story. And I wanted to hear, I have two questions. Number one, how did you said it just appeared. I don't really believe that it just appeared. Where did it, I've never asked you or Robbie, how did this even come up?
Yeah, so we had, Robbie had a friend.
We should explain, if not that we have some million viewerships here, but it's there. You make custom saunas.
Yes,
custom saunas.
Yeah, we do custom saunas. Started off in like the backyard space, so you've probably seen like the barrel saunas, some cubes. We had some cool designs, and really just sent it. Like,
but how did it appear though? Like, what do you mean it was just there all of a sudden? You guys just thought, oh, sauna's cool. I'll start selling them.
Yeah. So there was an opportunity with it was one of Robbie's buddies. And he had actually sold a sauna that he had never seen.
Okay.
So like he sold a sauna that he had never seen, and that sauna was on its way because it was from overseas. And he had his own business, and his wife had a business, and so he was looking for somebody like, hey, I kind of have this business I think would work. Like I've sold, I think it was 2 or 3, but once again had never seen one yet. So we had sold 2 or 3, and he kind of brought up like, I'm looking for somebody. Like, is this something you'd be interested in? And I always had this model, like if anyone ever comes to me, which usually it never happens, but with anything with a business idea, I'm like, I'm in. Like if you want me to be a part of it, I'm in. Like it's been my dream since I was little.
Yeah.
And so this opportunity came. Those units were not good. And we are not carpenters, or weren't carpenters. My wife can't believe I'm in construction. Yeah. And so we built them, and we learned a hard lesson. So we built them, returned them, and then sourced, amazing materials, got somebody who knew what they were doing, and we ended up making it right for these 3 customers, but it was expensive for us. Like we didn't make a cent. We're losing. Yeah, it's like you start doing this thing, you're up till midnight putting these things together, and then you're losing money, right? You're like, oh, that was great. I'm now, $3,000 more poor than I was, before I sold this sauna. Right. But yeah, we started to see the potential, and a lot of credit goes to your brother, because he saw the potential from like day one. No matter what problems were happening, he remained like positive. He saw the potential, and I was more skeptical, but not willing to quit. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah.
But at that point, you'd left your job, right?
No.
Okay.
So we did this.
This was like but you started showing up kind of non-midnight hours. You still had your day job.
Yeah.
So kind of that transition.
So when we started, it was literally midnight hours. I'm talking like literally like 5 till 10. And we like asked the homeowner, like, is it okay if we're like hammering this roof on? It's like 9 o'clock at night, and we did that for 10 months.
You did that for 10 months?
10 months on the side.
Than I realized.
Yeah, so we did that for 10 months on the side. And meanwhile, we were taking on debt, and we have not paid ourselves a single penny.
Yeah.
Like not even $1. Yeah. All we have done is paid money. And we would get some deals that would help with some debt, here and there, but nothing was going to us. But we both worked W-2.
Yeah.
So it was 10 months in. We had landed a a couple cool jobs with some awesome home builders. We had finished an indoor sauna that was really good. Like we were excited about it. And I guess the real story is I took 4 days of PTO. And during those 4 days of PTO, I didn't go anywhere. I just did sauna stuff.
Nice.
So did sauna stuff for these 4 days. During those 4 days, we sold 2 saunas with builders because I was on site.
And you feel like just because you were there?
Just because I was there. It's like I was there in the thick of it. I was there at 9 o'clock. Yeah. We stayed till 6. When we usually were showing up when everyone else was leaving.
Yeah.
To go home to like their families. And so I think it was that moment where I was like, it's now or never. Like, we would have never had these 2 deals if I wasn't there, if I showed up at 6. And so how many more deals are we losing out on?
And did you just
being there?
Was it magical then? Or you're like, we're sending this?
Yeah, I just felt like I had to send it. And I walked up, told my wife, she's on a call. And I said, hey, I'm quitting. And she puts her thing on mute and goes, what? And I said, yeah, I just messaged my boss.
Oh,
and she had no idea. Oh, she thought this was 2025. This is April of 2024 because I talked about maybe in 2025, and this was March of 2024. So, but yeah, we quit, and then I quit, and it was hilarious. Robbie was in Hawaii, and I get this funny message because the whole thing was I was going to quit for a month. He had a little bit more flexibility. He was in sales, doing really well, so had more flexibility than I did. And I just get this hilarious text from Robbie that says, I quit too, ... And it was like out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, just because you said I quit.
There was no, he could have worked a little bit during the day. He had time, but he was like, I quit too. And he had just bought like a house. He just bought a house and stuff. And so we kind of called and celebrated and we're like, hey, like now there's nothing.
Yeah.
Backs against the wall. We had a couple jobs coming up, but we had to line more up. Yeah, so that's a little bit of the story. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love hearing your story. I love, just learning more about how you decided to do it. I take away a few things. Number one, dude, like showing up, just showing up.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize you guys did it for 10 months. Hustling.
Yeah, 10 months.
Because I think my philosophy, and anyone I talk to, I'm like, the people who are really successful, it doesn't just start with I quit and I got some funding and cool.
Yeah.
It's like, were you hustling from 5 p.m. till whatever hour to make something happen? And I didn't realize you guys had done it for 10 months. That's super cool.
Yeah, 10 months. It was
yeah.
And it felt like longer.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
And then here's my first question then. Tell me, like, the biggest failure you feel like. So how long it's been? What, a little over 2 years now?
Yeah.
Year and a half?
Yep.
2 years?
Yep.
Share, if you don't mind sharing, and tell me, like, we heard a little bit of failures there, but tell me more about, like, your biggest failure along this 2-year journey.
Yeah. There's a couple. There's a lot of failures, but the 2 biggest, I think us early on, selling something where we didn't know the quality, like that's a big failure, but it was also an insane learning experience. Like without that, I don't think we ever could have made the steps we made. But I think my biggest failure as like a business owner, something that I want to work on more is, what one man can do, another man can do. And I feel like I need to get in that mindset of like, we're going to make it work. We're insane. We're hypercritical on quality. Saunas are tough because unlike your home, if there's a dent in the drywall, like they put some paste in it, they paint it, and you never knew there was a dent. Mm-hmm. Saunas are different. It's raw material. There's no paint in saunas. There's nothing to cover up a mistake. So everything has to be perfect. And so for me, I wish I would have taken the leap, with some of these bigger projects, just to get in the ring quicker. Yeah. Like I wish I could have swung the bat earlier, but I was a little cautious on everything has to be perfect. And so I think one of my failures, and Robbie really helped me with this because he's the exact opposite. He's just like, send it.
Yeah.
But I think one of my failures early on was just, needing to know everything before we did it, when really there's no way to know it until you do it. Does that make sense?
Of course. And I don't think that's that bad of a mistake, but learning to just be okay with not being perfect. And like,
Yes.
and you're just going to mess up along the way.
Yes.
Maybe it's like criticism to your own thought process of how like, well, I don't have the confidence. I can't do it. We're going to do a bad job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like all of our products that we put out, they're awesome and we're hypercritical and they've all turned out great. I think it was me needing all the information beforehand, like me being too, I should have been, when we're 80% there, let's send it, let's go in, we'll figure out the 20% on the job. Yeah. Because we still want to get 100% there. But it was hard for me to enter in without all of that information. How are we going to, do this curved bench, or something like that when it was our first time doing it type of thing.
Yeah. I think that's really not that bad of failure. That's really your worst failure though.
Oh, was it?
I mean, maybe it's all the money you lost on those.
We did lose a lot of money.
First on us.
No, we did. We were like,
but I love what you're saying.
We're self-funded too, so it was the money. I mean, we lost it. I'm sure you could find a bunch of failures with, hey, that 10 grand could have easily still been in your pocket if you didn't make that decision.
But I love what you're saying, and I think everyone could use. It's easy to analyze yourself and say, I can't do that job because I don't have those skills, or or I can't even like start a business because I don't have a million things. Yeah. And I love like doing your best to just eliminate that like emotional barrier and then just going for it on, like, there's no job we get that I know all the information of. It's always like, I've got 95%, but I know people are going to change and tear things apart. And you become more comfortable with just like being okay with that.
100. And there's a saying in construction, it's like construction's undefeated. Like you're dealing with so many moving parts of electrical or HVAC or tile or ceiling. I mean, there's so many things and there's so many people involved in, creating a beautiful custom home. Yeah. You think about how many people touch that project. Right. So it's undefeated, but I've gotten a lot better at rolling with the punches. And knowing that we're going to run into an issue, but we're also going to solve it. And, most of the time the customer never knows that there was ever an issue.
Exactly.
It's just
I think it's so true. And like, I just got to add on this. I've seen this with myself and a lot of people I work with is you blame others around you, including yourself and your partners and your coworkers. But really it's just about you being comfortable with like making it happen yourself. Yes. I think that's a hard lesson to learn. Yes. But anyways, success. I've heard some amazing successes, like job-wise, but it doesn't have to be about money and necessarily business. I mean, it doesn't even have to be like, this was the best job we ever landed and we made $500,000 off of this. Yeah. I'm curious what you think your number one success, whether it be emotional with your business or financial, has been for you with the home sauna.
Yeah, I think our number one, we're busy. That's really exciting.
That's insane.
So we've had a sauna build. We're super proud of it. But every week in 2025, we've had at least one build, and there's some weeks where we've had 3. And so we're busy, and that's been really fun. So that's a huge success. But I think like deeper than that, like it's just, I now feel confident that if somebody chooses us, like they're going to have an incredible sauna experience.
I also I got to push you there. What about like for you personally, or, not just what your business provides, what do you think the biggest success is?
I think that I'm finally able to balance home and work. I think there was my wife's a saint, where we were doing, we were just gone all day. And then I signed up for a stupid Ironman. And so I'm like, I literally get home and have to go to the pool. And early that morning, I'm like, I don't know, trying to bike it, it's dark still,
Yeah.
like leaving like at like
Crazy.
5:30. And I think I've started to figure out, kind of how to manage my time. And that sounds so like not a thing or
No,
like
that's-
kind of a lame answer, but for me, it was huge. I'd be like, it seemed like as soon as I was happy with training, I was like, man, but I'm behind on the business thing. And
Yeah.
I've missed dinner, 3 nights, and then I'd be, okay, I'm on top of home, and then training falls and business falls. And I feel like I've done a much better job at finding a balance, striking a balance, which is something that I didn't feel like it was that big of a problem when I was W-2. So
Yeah. You felt more balanced. Like you felt good and balanced when you were W-2.
at least when it came to like having time for home, work.
Yeah.
And this kind of,
Through
it just
everything.
took over your life.
Yeah.
Where
your wife was suffering, your family, like
Yeah.
it was just nonstop.
Yeah.
I'm impressed you're saying that because I feel like it's taken me like 8 to 10 years to get to a good balance, but you're already feeling like,
well, it's still probably not. I need to get my wife in here. So I'd be like, hold on. But no, it's just gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's manageable.
and what advice would you give me or give someone that's like, trying to find that balance? Like what were the
brutal.
difference makers for you,
I don't. I try to get some stuff done late at night now, where kids are in bed, and if I have a couple sauna bids to get out, I found a good amount. My wife goes up, wash her face, get ready for bed. We're about to watch a show, so there's like, I don't know, a half
late
hour
moments,
there,
yeah.
right, where I'm able to like pump out a couple of bids. Another thing is early mornings. There's stuff there's some time that you have to yourself in the morning where you're not taking that time from anybody else when people are asleep. And so I think early mornings and nights, utilizing those to be productive.
Yeah. Do you feel like I've seen from an outsider's perspective, you guys have more like skilled contractors that also work with you now?
Yes.
And that's got to be. I feel like that's huge for me.
No, I should have said that. We have an awesome team.
Yeah.
So Robbie and I, we learned by fire. We built everything. Basically up until the start of this year. We did start having some help in like November, December last year. But we have an awesome team. We have, carpenters. We have one in St. George. We have 1 or 2 here that are incredible, and our business would not be where it is today without them. And I think that really helps me as one of the owners to be able to focus on building the business versus 100% of the time building a sauna, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
So that has helped. That's been huge.
I mean, I'm curious your thoughts here. This isn't part of the podcast script. Is like, it's hard to do that first emotionally. To like let go of anything that you've been hustling to try and do.
Yes.
And then second, like financially, not everybody is maybe as successful as you are or able to say, oh, I can like for sure hire, that support right now.
Yeah.
So how did you like get over that barrier? Was it just like, no, we're doing it, even sometimes the numbers don't make sense, or was it just...
Yeah, I think, okay, so somebody told me this a long time ago. I don't even know who it was. They said, if you have a top sales guy, sales for that person might be like a $200 an hour job because that's what they're good at. But that same sales guy, if you put him to be like a coder, it might be a $5 an hour job because he's horrible at it.
Yeah.
There's nothing, he doesn't add value. And so, but if you find the right coder, there's another $200 an hour job, right? Because that's what he's good at or she is good at. And I think Robbie and I had a good moment of like really learning what we're good at. And we know how to build saunas. We've built beautiful saunas, but I think what we're better at is relationships. And so we would have like QBR, me and Robbie sit down at like a Harmon's or something like to plan it out. But we, I think we've learned what we are good at, and we're trying to turn that into our $200 an hour job, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Versus if I'm focusing on tile, like I'm a $5 an hour tile guy. So let's get someone who's good at that, and being able to delegate, it was hard for me to do. I had a hard time.
Letting go or delegating.
Yeah, I had a really hard time letting go of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which we're still involved. We're on every job. We're still cutting wood. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still there, or Robbie's there. One of us is always there. But it's being able to delegate more.
Well, you've had a
and
lot
go,
more delegation, a lot
Yeah.
more support.
Yeah,
And I think, because I feel that it's not like either of our businesses is some huge successful thing where we still need to be there.
Yes.
And we still need to cut the wood and do the
yes.
things. But I think it's cool that you guys are still trying to do, like you did that a lot quicker than I did. You also are more comfortable, I think, to do that than I clearly has, like you said, the $5 an hour coder, the $200 an hour coder. You guys have just done a good job of like finding people and letting that happen.
And we've also been lucky. Like we found some good people. We kind of found them quickly, and just I think we got a little bit lucky in finding somebody who, especially carpenters. Like we've got some freaking awesome carpenters.
Yeah.
You know, finished carpentry stuff. So
That's cool. I'm curious because I think about it a lot of just how like empowering people, letting go of things, finding the right people. That's hard. So
yeah.
hard. Well, let me just ask this one. You know what? What do you feel most proud of on like an emotional level? Starting a business. I want you to like brag a little bit.
You know, I just think that there was a time period where it would have been really easy to give up on it, and so I feel. I've always wanted to own my own business, but never knew what it was. And I just feel like I'm proud of myself that I saw it through. Yeah. And when it got really brutal, you know, when you're losing money every time you work, that's how it felt. It was like, I was just happy we stuck it out.
And didn't give up on it.
Yeah, and didn't give up. So I'm proud of that. And there's a little bit of a moment where it's like, are you who you say you are? And I feel like that kind of makes me feel like, you always had that in you. You've thought about this for, owning something for a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
And so that makes me proud.
You should be proud. I think it all is like, just comes down to that, like not giving up, pushing through whatever crap you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And just showing up.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference maker. Okay, let's get into the hot topic round.
Oh, great.
We can wrap this puppy up.
Let's do it.
I honestly did not have. We've used a lot off of our list, and I was pulling up the list right now. I should have pulled this up earlier. So I want to actually just open up the floor here.
Yeah.
Do you have like 2 or 3, just top of your head? Soda, not soda. Tesla, not Tesla. Throw out. Do you have any hot topics you're hearing at your work lately?
So you want me to answer those
I'm just
questions?
curious if you have any you could throw onto the question floor.
Ooh, like ask you a question?
Yeah, like ask me.
Okay.
I've only got like 3 or 4, but I just wanted to like throw it out to you.
Okay, not Tesla, not Tesla or not Tesla, but do you like the look of the Cybertruck? The
Easy.
look.
No.
Dude, I do.
You love it.
I didn't like it.
But now you're on board.
I didn't like it, and the more I saw it, I'm like,
this is sick.
oh, dude, yeah, it's sick.
Okay.
I love it.
The hot topic rules are we can't talk too much about it, though. Because it's easy to like argue about it or whatever. You just have to be like, I love the look of the Cybertruck.
Okay.
Work from home or not work from home?
Not work from home.
Not working in office is what you support. Do you support working in an office or working from your home?
Working from an office.
I also support working from an office. I'm anti-work from home.
I'm a little bit anti-work from home too.
AI will be a future tool, or you think it's gimmicky?
Future tool.
Future tool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you think?
This is where if I have to say yes or no, I'll say yeah, future tool.
Okay.
Sure. But and I have a hard time not saying more because I'm like, but.
yeah.
Okay. Trump coin. I'm just talking basically Bitcoin or no Bitcoin. Would you invest in Bitcoin today, or are you like, that's a sham?
I would.
You would?
Yeah.
How much would you invest? A few $1,000s?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't do more than that. That's too big time.
I've never bought the right coin. I have
Yeah.
coins. They're all horrible.
Do you buy like the meme coins?
Well, I thought. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry.
Okay. Don't want to go into it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm honestly about to the end of my spiel here on the hot topics. Any other ones you want to throw out? You only throw out one.
What's contra? I'm trying to think of something good.
Do you like LinkedIn? Are you a believer in LinkedIn, or do you think it's a bunch of douchey bros trying to network with each other? Do you support LinkedIn or not? I don't know, that's kind of weak sauce.
Yes.
That's not that controversial.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're an athlete. You're an Ironman. Give me like a protein debate, creatine or not. You know, so what's like the most controversial Ironman athlete discussion?
Oh my gosh, dude, I don't know.
Is there anything?
I don't think there's anything.
Like,
I do like creatine.
Do you take creatine?
I do now. Yes.
I'm not like sexy shredded like you, but I'm thinking about taking some creatine.
I like it for my mental.
Really?
Yeah, I like it for more of a mental. It's like mentally stimulating.
Do you just feel more like focused?
Yeah,
or what?
like less foggy.
Huh.
And I feel like I notice it.
I didn't know creatine really does
I
that
don't.
much
I mean,
for you.
I do lift, but I do mostly like endurance stuff.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how good creatine is for that, but I feel like my mental, it's a good thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What creatine do you take?
I just bought the on brand from Costco.
I have seen those.
Dude, I just
in
buy
Harvard's.
whatever's at Costco.
Yeah, yeah.
So hopefully they have good stuff because that's all I buy.
We trust Costco.
Yeah, we trust Costco.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what a pleasure, an honor to chat with you. It's fun to just hear your story. I think there's a lot more that we could talk about, Ryan. You're an inspiring athlete.
Oh my gosh,
You're-
no way.
and-
I'm not
and-
an inspiring athlete.
You are. You crush some Ironmans. Love watching you on Strava.
I've suffered through some Ironmans. I don't know if I've crushed
No,
one.
you completing an Ironman. And yeah, it's just fun to watch you guys. What an honor, truly, to like. It's fun to see people who just don't give up and keep pushing. So, yeah,
No,
shout
man.
out to you guys.
Thanks, man. Well, you're an inspiration to us. There's a few people that I knew that had businesses well before I did, and I think hearing about your business from Robbie, it was like so cool. I mean, your story's awesome with you starting with like wedding. It was wedding photography, right?
Wedding stuff, yeah.
And then like how you kind of maneuvered from there, and I've heard the whole thing, and it's just epic. Like
Oh,
those
that's
stories are so inspiring, and so there's a few people here locally that I have definitely like looked up to. You've seen what they've built and just thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it's fun to hear
Yeah.
people's stories. Okay, well, we'll sign off. Cheers. We'll sign off with a cheers.
Cheers.
All right.